Hey everyone, how's it going? I am Xeracon and I am back once again. Guess who's back at it again with the shenanigans, the antics, and the tomfoolery? If you said Nintendo, you would be correct. If you haven't been aware, Nintendo is currently in a lawsuit against Pocket Pair because they are claiming that Palworld is infringing upon their patents. Nintendo filed the lawsuit last year, and initially it started out with them saying that Palworld infringed upon the fact that the game uses items that are launched via the character that hits a target, i.e., the pals in place of the Pokemon, and it's used to catch them. Like that was the thing they were trying to fight against, and it has worked somewhat because now you can't use, or at least when you summon a pal, you can't like just pull out your pal sphere and it pops, it comes out of there. Now it just shows up next to you, right to your side, which I think is stupid that such thing happens. But now they're trying to do something else where it seems like they want to change how you actually catch them. So like here's a new or I guess it's a new patent that sort of serves as an update to a previous patent they made back in December. And to elaborate on this, here are some details from Insider Gaming. On December 31st, 2024, US patent number 12,179,111 was acquired by Nintendo, where the company outlines a first mode and a second mode. In the former, players would use a catching item to procure a field character, and in the latter, a fighting character is released to engage in battle with the field character. It was speculated that Palworld changed how PAL spheres worked in the game when Nintendo was in the process of publishing this patent, as all parties were informed about it a month before it published. Nintendo acquired the new US patent number 12,220,638 on February 11, 2025, and it was very similar to the one they published at the end of last year. However, some different terms were used in this patent where field character has been replaced by virtual character, and catching items with obtaining items. A display indicator for likelihood of success for obtaining a virtual character was mentioned too. Lastly, any mentions of the first and second modes were removed. So how this reads is that Nintendo wants to patent the idea of using any sort of item to catch any sort of creature out in a field area, in any sort of open area, which I think is stupid, the fact that this is even being entertained at all. And it's not just Palworld that uses this mechanic. Other games in the genre also do it because that's like one of the main things. I mean, look at Koromon. It doesn't use any type of ball or anything like that or sphere, but it has, I think, like discs that you use. Monster Hunter Stories is also like this, and I think World of Final Fantasy also uses a similar mechanic as well. So it's not just Palworld, and the fact that Nintendo's really only doing this because Palworld got as popular as it did, because Nintendo never went after any other company before. And that is, I think, shows the fact that Nintendo's just really salty that anything could stand up to its beloved Pokemon. And Nintendo actually doing this is really just going to stifle creativity. And imagine if Nintendo patented the Metroid formula by saying, well, you need item A to reach area A, and it's only accessible once you get item A. And until then, the player has to move around and get item A before they can go back to area A. Like, imagine if they did that. Think about this like this. So because Castlevania was originally just, side-scrolling platformer game, if Nintendo patented that, we would never have gotten Symphony of the Night or any other type of Igavania game. Think about it like that. If Nintendo patented the Metroid formula, this is a similar thing where no other game will be able to have that type of mechanic where you throw some sort of item to catch some sort of creature or anything like that. Because they don't want you to do that, because they really hate competition and creativity, so they say, if we can't do it, no one else can. And that really irritates me. And consider how patents have also messed up the gaming industry in the past. Remember, Bandai Namco patented the ability to play mini-games on loading screens because they wanted to be the only ones to do that. And because of that patent, the only time we were ever able to see that was in the Budokai Tenkaichi games. That's it. And think about how EA patented the dialogue choice wheel. Because of that, no other game outside of EA could use it. And in more recent times, Warner Bros. Games patented the Nemesis system, which means that the only games that have used it to date are Lord of the Rings Shadow of War and Shadow of Mordor. yes, Wonder Woman is supposed to be using the Nemesis system, but that game is currently in limbo, and who knows when that's coming out. Any other game could have been using this system by now, but they can't because of the stupid patent. And imagine if Vampire Survivors patented its gameplay mechanics. Like, there were a slew, and I mean there still are a lot of Vampire Survivor clones that are coming out, but imagine how many games we could have missed out on, because while a lot of them are the same, and they are to a degree, there are some that actually do something different. Like Halls of Torment does something quite unique with the way it works. And I mean, recently we even had Warriors Abyss, which is a Vampire Survivors but with the Dynasty Warriors format. So we could have lost out on so many games just if Vampire Survivors patented what it did. If Nintendo wins this lawsuit and wins this patent, that shows that more games are going to be stifled and creativity is going to be limited because of Nintendo just being salty that someone else could actually do something better than them, and because the Pokemon company does not optimize their games well, and they've just been stagnant throughout the years. This is honestly a new low for Nintendo, and it disgusts me so much that it's starting to actually sap my enthusiasm and anticipation for Metroid Prime 4. Even though I haven't bought anything from Nintendo since the Super Mario 3D All-Stars fiasco, Metroid was the only thing that they actually had a grip on me, and I'm starting to feel like that's starting to even slip now. So I don't know. I'm gonna see what happens with this lawsuits moving forward, but you know, if things get too crazy with them, I might just drop out entirely and just be done with Metroid altogether at that point. But that will do it for today. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video. I appreciate it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I will leave a link to the article in the description so you can all check it out at your leisure. So it's next time, everyone. I am iamxeracon signing off. Have a good one.